You got a BS in computer science from of Southern California, but so you went to JP Morgan first out of college, and
Yes.
you went to the Tokyo office first, or
Yes.
okay, okay.
So directly to
Why
JP.
Tokyo though?
Yeah. So I think I told you I started studying Japanese in university
Hmm.
for the reasons mentioned, but I also did some internships and had some experiences in Japan while I was in college. And
Oh, okay.
yeah, the first time I visited Japan, I did an internship actually at another tech startup. There was around 10 people at the time, and
Mm.
as an engineer. And that was also where I think I had a lot of, realizations about what I wanted myself. And I
Hmm.
realized that, coming to Japan, no culture shock. Everything was just better than expected, right? It's like, oh, it's amazing, right?
Right, right,
Um,
right.
I had culture shock instead going back to the States, right? Reverse culture shock. Like, oh, is the food this bad and are the people this loud? And, it was, yeah, I think that's kind of where I cemented in my mind, like, yeah, after graduating, I want to, solidify my Japanese, but I also want to challenge myself in an environment where I don't have that network,
Mm,
don't have those experiences. It's just another dimension of challenge where I can kind
right.
of push myself to grow. And so I decided, yeah, from that experience, I want to come out to Japan. I also
Mm,
decided I didn't really just want to be a programmer for someone else's vision. I wanted to kind of understand the bigger problems in life in the world, and then apply myself to solve those, and however I can kind of best leverage myself.
I see,
So
I see.
yeah.
Okay, and then you started your company here, right? After meeting your co-founder.
So yeah, so 8 years working in Japan in finance before starting a company, and actually the timing was also triggered by the birth of my first daughter.
Hmm.
So when
Oh,
yeah,
okay, okay.
yeah.
Could you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so when my first daughter was born, I decided, for me, that was always a time of life that I really wanted to value.
Hmm.
And I really wanted to kind of, be there and kind of recognize, the rare relationship that you can build, even if I'm the one who remembers it during the first year, and be there and support my wife. But it also was a good time to kind of, take a step back and reflect, as I realized that there were things were going, reasonably well for myself, right?
Hmm.
And I was doing things that I enjoyed. I was contributing. I was adding value,
Sure.
but in kind of a different way to society. And it was within, the way that I was looking at the world through my career.
Mm.
And when I took time off, I realized that, very happy being in Japan for all the reasons that I mentioned a moment ago. But
Hmm.
there's still like a lot of things in Japan that I've just been ignoring because
Oh,
they're, frustrating or annoying or whatever the reason may be. And
okay.
I started to have more kind of experiences outside of just work, right?
Mm.
Because it's very easy for me to become a workaholic. When getting married, trying to figure out, okay, who do you want to have as a wedding photographer, as a
Mm.
DJ, right? As an MC, or when we're moving, who's going to do the moving? Who's going to kind of do this electrical work for us? Who's
Mm.
going to help us, set up this kids room and do this work that we want? And realized that it was just very painful. And I think, you realize this, probably everybody listening to this kind of has had
Hmm.
some similar experience if you've been in Japan,
Sure.
that the quality of service is amazing,
Yeah.
but like it can be mind-blowingly inefficient and rigid when it comes
Mm.
to figuring out like, okay, this is the A set or this is the B set, right?
Hmm.
If you're ordering food, it's like, oh, like, can I just have this, slightly differently? It's like, no, these you have the A set,
Right.
the B set,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes,
I want
yes, yes. I know that feeling. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I think, in Japan, especially in the services sector, you have a lot of kind of in-between players, right?
Mm.
And so at my wedding, I ended up having a good friend who was our photographer and who was our
Hmm.
DJ. People
Hmm.
who did that like on the side or who wanted to do it more professionally but didn't know how to grow clients, right? Like,
Right,
oh,
right.
well, like if we knew those people were there, that would have been great, right?
Mm.
And when we were moving, we have to call up every place one by one, try to figure out, okay,
Hmm.
what's the fair value for this, right? These are our custom needs. Like, how much does it cost to get this done? What is fair?
Hmm.
And who can do it? And it's just like, it's a very large project, right?
Right,
And
right.
at the end of the day, a lot of these people that we would hire or that we'd work with to get something done,
Hmm.
um, I would just be blown away by the fact that not only were they amazing at what they did,
Mm.
but they were just so thrilled to kind of meet us and get clients directly, as
Okay,
opposed
okay.
to kind of going through the normal channels of intermediary to intermediary.
Mm. Right,
It's
right, right.
a lot of these people either started their own small business or working freelance because they want to do what they enjoy, right, and what they're proud
Hmm.
of,
Hmm.
and they want to grow their business. But it makes more sense when you start to look at all the surveys of small, medium-sized businesses in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And over the last 20 years, I believe everyone has been pretty consistent in coming back and saying that their number one pain point is getting new
Right.
clients.
I see. I
And
see.
you know, why is that? The service quality is so high and they're so good at what they
Mm-hmm.
do. And you know, but like, how are they going to actually grow their business? How are they going to get new
Right.
clients and kind of make that?
Right. Right. Right.
And it came back to my friends that were freelancers. It was, how are they going to grow their business? There's no platform for them to say, like, yes, society evaluates me for doing a good job at this. This is how much
Mm-hmm.
I can charge for these different things if you need
Right.
something.
Right.
And kind of matching their custom abilities to the custom needs. And I think that services right now, it's much closer to dating or recruiting than it is to e-commerce.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I
So as much
see. I
as we like
see.
to have an Amazon for services, right, and just be able to one click and get a lot of things done, the reality is that you have a custom set of needs, and you
Mm-hmm.
also generally don't know exactly what you're looking for, right? If you haven't hired a professional photographer before, you may not know what information you need to give them.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't hired an electrician before, you may not know what information you need to give them.
Right.
And so
Right.
how
Right.
can we try to get this custom information in a way that's not stressful for the
Mm-hmm.
consumer? And similarly for the professional, how can we help them and ourselves understand what services do they offer? What are they good at? What type
Right.
of work do they want? And if we can kind of match these custom needs and custom solutions and bring transparency and efficiency in the marketplace,
Sure.
then, you know, we can, you know, remove, you know, the whole concept of disintermediation, as well as empowering these small businesses, freelancers, and people who are really great at what they are doing to grow
Sure.
their business as such.